I believe I should have been born blind.
Instead of a sexual reassignment, Jewel is saying, I want a sight reassignment.
I've tried myself a few times by injecting medical grade alcohol.
I have fantasies about having a car wreck and becoming paraplegic. I did find a surgeon to paralyze my legs.
Hi guys, it's Misha and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking about trans-abled people. So let's take a look at this woman named Chloe White who identifies as being paraplegic and even uses a wheelchair. She also skis though.
Chloe Jennings White spends her days confined to a wheelchair. It's tough to get around. However, Chloe is actually able to walk perfectly. Despite wishing she was paralysed, Chloe still takes part in extreme sports like skiing.
I have fantasies about having a car wreck and becoming paraplegic from a car wreck. I did find a surgeon in another country who would be prepared to do femoral and sciatic nerve transections to paralyze my legs. It would be at least $25,000.
She also said she wants to become permanently paralyzed, but also that skiing is essential to her.
Skiing is essential to me.
So yeah, that makes perfect sense, right?
I have to admit, anytime I'm driving, I sort of conjure up accident scenarios in my mind where I would become paraplegic.
In 2009, Chloe really did crash, surviving a horrific 75-mile-per-hour double rollover.
She's also potentially putting other people in danger if she's constantly talking about wanting to get into a car crash.
I have that surgery. I just know. It will be the happiest day of my life.
I actually know someone that used to be a very competitive athlete and they would do anything to get their old life back because now they have to deal with chronic pain, tons of painkillers, of course mental health issues after the accident. Also think about it, in his current state, if there's a dangerous situation, he can't just get up and leave, and that causes him a lot of anxiety and depression. And to think that we actually have people who want that kind of hardship. Here's a video of this woman I found who has to make the difficult decision of amputating her leg because of the chronic pain she's in.
I was a really enthusiastic kayaker and I had dreams of representing my country at the Olympic Games because I was inspired by London 2012. But I twisted my knee in the process. It just never went away. A neurological pain condition, it's a chronic condition with no cure. I was desperate.
She was carrying around a leg that didn't work, caused her incredible pain constantly. And so that was at the forefront of her thinking all the time.
There's also a conversation about the disability benefits that these people receive, because there are people that actually do end up hurting themselves and then using the medical services and the limited handicap spots. For example, here's a woman who actually made herself go blind.
I went blind on purpose, but I don't feel it was a choice. Because drain cleaner was easily available to me, I went with that.
She found a psychologist willing to help her, and after 2 weeks of working together to make sure she was ready, they carried out Jules' plan.
I laid down on the sofa and he sat next to me, two drops into each eye. My eyes were screaming. I had some drain cleaner going down my cheek, burning my skin. In the moment, all I could think of was, I'm going blind, it's gonna be okay.
After waiting half an hour to make sure the damage was done, the psychologist took Jewel to hospital, where doctors fought to save her sight.
This psychologist needs to lose their license because this is unethical. Because if you end up seeking help and then your therapist says, oh yeah, you should actually be disabled because that's how you identify, you need to leave that office immediately.
It's a really inspiring story actually, because you've overcome a lot here. You're a very positive person. You contribute a lot to the blind community, and I think that's a great thing.
Now, Jewel hopes her story will help other people in her position.
So this is a real disorder called body identity integrity disorder, and it's very rare. And the research suggests that sometimes having a loved one who is disabled or having some sort of childhood trauma can cause this. So when these people go to speak to a professional and say, oh, I see myself as an amputee, the therapist needs to try and help them and especially talk about the hardships that they might face if they actually go through with hurting themselves and doing this irreversible damage, not pouring drain cleaner into their eyes.
I believe I should have been born blind, and I'm happy the way I am.
We took an oath in medicine to help people. To hear someone say, I've always felt I should be blind, well, I've always felt I should be the Queen of England, but I'm not going out to become the Queen of England.
But here, instead of a sexual reassignment, Jewel is saying, I want a sight reassignment, or someone wants, they just feel that an arm or a leg, some body part they've just had this sense that this is foreign, it doesn't belong to their body.
Here's a man who wants to cut off his leg.
In terms of pretending, I try to do it at least once a day, if not longer. I feel a lot better and I get to see myself as I would be or should be, rather than as I am.
It felt like someone was coming out to me as gay or trans. You know, I could see how important it was for him and how nervous he was.
I've tried myself a few times by injecting medical grade alcohol into the limb, but there was intense pain, more pain than I anticipated, because you could actually feel the alcohol drying up the muscles. There was a sense of feeling of success. You couldn't move it, but after 8 hours, it was fine. If the choice came for an amputation, I would jump at the opportunity.
If Nick could have his leg removed by a surgeon, safely, by a qualified surgeon, I would be behind him 110%.
So now many doctors are being told by the hospital, don't do this amputation if you're asked to by someone that identifies as trans-abled, or if someone says they should have been born in a handicapped person's body.
And what is required before anyone would ever consider doing something that's irreversible, like amputating a leg or removing someone's sight, is they have to go through extended periods of counseling. They have to live as they seek to be for a couple of years. And only then are they considered a candidate for any type thing.
Physicians need to take an oath and swear to uphold specific ethical standards. So I wonder, how is amputating a perfectly healthy limb considered ethical, just because the patient is mentally ill? That's all for today's video, guys. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so comment them below. Also remember to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.